Do we really need complicated materials to do a good portrait? I don't think so. Maybe it's the model that's the most important element. That and the competence of the artist. Enjoying your art, enjoying the creative process. That's also a very important thing, and you don't need high-end materials to do that. It's amazing, for example, what can be done with a simple ballpoint pen, a cheap biro. When we were kids, we always enjoyed drawing. I think we should sometimes go back to more basic materials and basic attitudes and try to recapture that spirit of fun that we all had once upon a time. As we get older, we tend to lose our innocence and our purity of vision. Even negative things like fear can enter the picture. Great art isn't fearful. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be in color, it doesn't have to be laborious or time-consuming or made with expensive materials. It doesn't have to be about profound statements or highbrow concepts. Most of the time it's simply about transmitting joy. This artist always enjoys himself, and he doesn't complicate his life with a lot of stuff. He doesn't even use an easel here, except for display purposes. We have a really excellent model to draw here, almost an ideal model. I mean, this artist can draw anyone, but this is definitely not the model from hell. The artist has built up the drawing gradually with diagonal lines, mostly diagonal lines, and he reinforces these lines where necessary to create depth and form. And there's not that much cross-hatching really going on. Movement is diagonal. The treatment is light and sketchy and free of fear. It's not a dense drawing, it's very airy, it breathes. And every mark the artist makes is almost like a gesture of joy. It's a pleasure, it's a privilege to watch art being created like this. A drawing like this entails a great deal of concentration, observation, and a sure hand. But the artist makes everything look so simple, so effortless. And this is the sign of a master craftsman at work. Majid is an experienced painter. He has attained a mastery of all the mediums that you could possibly use for portraiture: pastels, watercolor, acrylic, oil. So why go down this road? Why use the minimum of equipment and the most humble of all drawing instruments? I think that this is a deliberate choice that has been made by the artist. He is seeking to eliminate the superfluous, both in his choice of materials and in the number of words he uses in his visual language. I think it's an admirable goal to try to draw a portrait or create any work of art that is elemental and pure and stripped of the unnecessary. Let's get rid of the baggage. The only thing that really is essential is to enjoy yourself. Let's keep it basic, let's keep it simple, and let's get rid of the big A. We don't want anxiety in art. You should never feel anxious just because you can't erase. See how the artist is using very, very fine lines and building up the drawing in a very progressive way. He only reinforces the drawing when he's absolutely sure he's got things right. And anyway, using this technique, if a few lines go astray, it really isn't the end of the world. You do have a margin for error when you're using a fine line pen like this. We are not employing a heavy black fiber tip here. There is some room for maneuver, even though of course we can't erase. Choosing when to stop the drawing, when to sign it off, is a vital decision. Artists are greedy, they are always reaching for the stars. They want more, but very often less is more. Majid stops this drawing just at the right time, before it gets a little bit too busy, which can happen no matter what medium you're using. This approach to drawing portraits is flexible, it's fun, and it's delightfully uncomplicated. And the end product is a portrait that is sensitive, elegant, and zen. It's everything that a portrait should be.
Soit noir, soit gris, entre noir, gris ou blanc.
Oui, voilà, c'est ce que je fais.
Mais n'oubliez pas de ne pas
Oui,
passer.
ah bah tout le temps, oui. Merci.